Hello there, Big Benedict here. We're playing Gears of War Reloaded on the Series X, and this is my insane difficulty guide and walkthrough. We're currently on Act 4-4. It is entitled Close to Home. So we have the height advantage here, and generally the Therons and the other locusts, they won't come up here. Occasionally it can happen, but they basically keep their distance. They're respectful of your space as they are usually in the game. And it should be apparent, though some things that are apparent to some people aren't to others. When you are using the torque bow, you want to use it like when you're in cover. You want to start out by essentially blind firing by holding the right trigger, and then when you are ready to aim, leave cover and then click in the left analog stick to precisely aim. Because if you expose yourself too soon by aiming with the left trigger first and then charging the gun, you're much more vulnerable. And when you're facing Theron guards, they're not going to give you a second chance. I know that Gears 5 gave you a second chance by they gave you some sort of stim ability to offset the death. But there is a certain thrill, though, when you're playing this, to know that you can kill Therons just as easily as they can kill you. And that, I think, is the lovely trade-off. You don't need a stim. You don't need, that extra safeguard. But on this first section, beware, because these enemies do charge. This is some sort of a graveyard area, or yeah, looks like a graveyard. But whereas the initial set of enemies were reticent about charging you, these guys can and will charge you. In fact, if you run away from them and go back the way you came, they'll all follow you. So visibility is pretty poor here with these tanky mausoleum sort of structures here. I don't know if that's the right word either, but yeah, they can be kind of tanky. So if you do want to leave the area, you can. But Dom will probably die, so that's a bad thing, because then everybody's going to be focused on you. So fortunately, there aren't too many enemies on that first section, and when you come up here, you get a nice checkpoint. So there's a torque bow around this corner, and the hardest thing about this part is, as you can guess, the fucker on the turret. So what you can do is you can try to get lucky with the torque bow and get a body shot with that weapon, or you can just as neatly get well, I don't know if neatly is the word, and that was pretty freaking lucky there. I did get a body shot with the torque bow, but you can just as equally get a series of 3 body shots on that turret guy and take him down. So all that consists of is getting 3 leg shots. That's all you got to do. Note that there are well, you can't see the other one, but there are 2 turrets and there are 2 enemies manning those turrets. Fortunately, once you kill a turret enemy, none of the other enemies will go onto the turret and take his place. So I like that. I do like that. So as you come up here, we did a nice SWAT turn. That, if you didn't know, is a SWAT turn. Sometimes the SWAT turn in this game doesn't work. Basically, it's swiftly moving from parallel pieces of cover without leaving cover, and the reason that it sometimes doesn't work is just due to the follies of the game and the structure of the geometry. Sometimes the cover is not precisely parallel. Sometimes it's too far away. Sometimes it's just not programmed to let you do the SWAT turn. The same way that sometimes it's not programmed to let you do the cover slip. The cover slip is what I did right there. Charge a torque on this guy and take him down. And then once you get back this way, the gate's going to get blown open. And a Theron guard is going to cause you some potential problems. And the reason I say potential problems is I fought this guy a lot throughout these walkthroughs, and he seems to prefer to dig in, which could be problematic. And there's a lot of trees that he can shield himself behind. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get some headshots if I can see what he's doing from behind the trees. But never take those turret guys for granted. They'll cut you up fast, and you won't even realize that you're dead. Until you're looking at the bleed out screen, excuse me. And I think that's it. This is a very succinct level, but I challenge you to find somebody that, when they first played this game, they didn't struggle on a section like this. We all struggled on these types of sections when it was new, or when we were new to it. Okay, so as the title mentioned, we're close to home, and we're getting ever closer. Home is where the hearth is, if I remember the saying correctly. And if I remember the other saying correctly, please continue to take care.